So if a soldier hears the word gas 3 times, so gas, 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 that means they gotta hurry up and get their gas mask on. So we're gonna talk a little bit about the gas mask in the Army, a little bit of NBC training you might do in the Army, and this video is inspired by Mira Safety that sent me over this mask. They did not pay me to make this video, but they sent me over a mask to check out, and I got an affiliate link down in the description box down below, so if you wanna get one, you can. They have a couple different styles, they have filters, they got NBC stuff, but they sent it over to me for me to check it out, and it inspired me to do a video to talk about NBC related things in the Army. What type of NBC training do you do? What type of gear might you get? A lot of that kind of things on that kind of topic. So definitely check them out. Link down in the description box, also in a pinned comment if you want to check out some of their gear. But let's talk about some of the things you might do in the United States Army that are related to the gas mask, related to NBC, contaminants type of training, type of thing, all that. So this is not the gas mask you'd get issued in the Army. Your gas mask would look maybe a little something like this. There was a photo sent to me from one of my moderators, Gunrunner, who was able to hook me up with what the current gas mask looks like, because I was issued one that looks like this, and probably some of you may have used that style one, and hell, maybe even some of you used one that looked like this or something. I don't know, right? So there's a lot of possibilities, but you will get issued a gas mask, and that is done at the unit level. So at your unit, you will get issued your gas mask. That comes from supply. Now, that is different from a lot of your other Army gear that you get issued from CIF, which is the Central Issuing Facility. That's a location on post that you get all your gear, your vest, your helmet, your sleeping bag, all that kind of stuff from there, where the gas mask typically will come from your unit. But from CIF, you will usually get like your chemical suit sometimes. Usually it's the training version one, and then sometimes they'll have a different one that's like the real deal one, kind of a thing for deployments. That one sometimes you'll get from like your supply. That may vary, but the mask will come from supply from your unit, and then the other gear usually comes from CIF. The main NBC training, of course, you're probably aware of, is the gas chamber. That's one of the main things that everybody does. You'll do it in basic training. Everybody's got to do it in basic training, unless for some reason you're sick or injured or something, you happen to miss that day, they go to the NBC chamber. But for the most part, the majority, if not everybody, will go through that NBC chamber. Typically when you go through it, you start off with a mask on. That way you can kind of experience what it's like using the mask, make sure it works and you've sealed it properly and you know how to seal it properly, which just usually includes, making sure it's on, make sure the straps on the back are on tightly, and then a lot of times you'll like put your hand over the filter and kind of take a deep breath in that kind of like sucks it onto your face. Now, the common gas mask you get issued in the Army now has 2 filters, which like this mask can do 2 filters. I just don't have a second filter to put on the other side, but the issued one will also have 2 filters, and you just would place your hand over both filters, take a deep breath in, and that kind of like sucks the mask to your face. So that creates the good seal to make sure that it's nice and tight and sealed, and if it is sealed properly, you're hopefully not breathing in any CS gas when you're in the gas chamber. You'll know right away if you don't have a good seal, you're gonna be sucking. You're gonna be coughing unless you have a good immunity to CS gas. Otherwise, yeah, it's gonna be a little rough. So they'll have you do different things. Usually have you moving your face around, moving your head around to make sure that it's got a good seal even when you move your head around and stuff. And sometimes they have you do push-ups or have you do some different things inside of the chamber. And then eventually you gotta take that mask off and just experience what it's like to take CS into the lungs and into the face. It's not the greatest. It definitely sucks. You'll live, it does suck. It burns the face, and you'll probably have snot all over the place, and you're gagging and coughing and all sorts of stuff, possibly puking type of thing. If you've ever experienced OC spray, I've heard that OC spray is worse. So if you have experienced OC spray, then you probably will have no problems with CS gas maybe. But you're only in there for a little while, 5, 10 minutes, something like that. Usually it just depends, I guess, on how the drill sergeants are kind of working that kind of scenario. And then you get out and then you walk around a bunch to kind of get the CS gas off your body and kind of breathe in some fresh air after that. But the gas chamber doesn't necessarily end there. There are a lot of times where at the unit level they'll do that just to kind of make sure that soldiers are proficient with how to use the gas mask, how to properly make sure it's sealed, and make sure the gas masks work, I guess, too. So it is common that you will eventually maybe do the gas chamber. It's not a real common thing. Like in my Army experience, I think we only went to the gas chamber twice in the entire time that I was in the Army. Both times I actually got out of it though. The first time I think I got out of it because I was driving the bus to take everybody over to the gas chamber, so they didn't want me doing it because I have to drive the bus, so they didn't want me going through the gas chamber. But I do remember like the soldiers come back on the bus and some of them still smell like CS, and it wasn't strong enough to make you start gagging or anything like that, but yeah, you could still smell the CS on them. Second time, I think I was running the ammo truck and I was in charge of all the ammo that we had to, which included the CS capsules and everything that we had to deliver to them. And so They don't want me going through the gas chamber because I gotta be in the truck and take all the ammo back to where the ASP or the ammo holding facility or whatever. But it's potentially a possibility that you could still go through the gas chamber again, back your unit, but there are times where you probably get out of it, or maybe your unit just isn't very active with that. The more common way that I would experience CS gas was in the field. There would be times where we would have CS grenades kind of a thing, and there'd be something going on, and they would throw a CS grenade at us kind of a thing, and then you had to yell out gas, 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 and everybody throw their mask on, and sometimes you weren't fast enough to get it on in time, and you felt the effects a little bit of it, because you're fumbling around with it and everything, trying to get the thing out of the case that it goes inside of and trying to put that thing on. So yeah. But I guess on that topic, this usually goes inside of a case, right? The one you issue to usually has like a bag that goes in, and it kind of like goes around your waist and kind of hooks around your leg. And you don't necessarily wear it all the time when you're out in the field, but certain field environments you will wear it pretty often. When I went to Iraq, both times when we deployed, it wasn't a big thing. We had it with us in Iraq, but we didn't keep it on us because there was no real risk of any kind of NBC type of attack type of thing. It wasn't the TTP of the Taliban, of the enemy, or anything else like that. So it wasn't usually something we really carried on us. That was different for some people that was in the early phase of Iraq, like during OIF-1 type of thing, right at the very beginning. They probably had it with them all the time. They went on mission a lot of times in their NBC suit and everything. But during the deployments I went on, I think sometimes we would take it with us in our vehicle, but most of the time I think we just left it behind. Now, the NBC gear that you will wear, it's just like a jacket that goes over uniform, and there's some pants that go over, your Army uniform type of thing, and then there's some like rubber boots that go over your Army boots, and then you have some rubber gloves, and you have the mask. And when you wear everything, you have the pants, the jacket, the gloves, the mask, the boots. That's what's called MOP level 4. So there are 4 levels. You have MOP 4, which is everything on. You have the boots, gloves, mask, the whole works and everything. You have MOP level 0 that's like just having everything ready. So you might have the mask like on your side, and you have all your gear available to be able to get to. You have MOP level 1 that's the jacket and the pants, and then from there it just keeps on adding different articles to it until you get up to MOP level 4, which has everything on. If you're in a scenario maybe like in the field or in some training, right, where you have to go to MOP level 4, then you're stuck in MOP level 4 until they give the all clear signal. They give some kind of sign to say everything's all clear and you can take it all off, but otherwise you're stuck in it, and it really sucks if you're in a hot environment in the desert like a national training center, or just you're stationed somewhere and you're in the field and it's hot. It's horrible. All that gear on, it's hot. There's actually procedures to figuring out if it's all clear. I mean, usually nowadays they kind of use like equipment and everything to kind of detect it, but there's actually even a way that they go about finding out if everything's all clear by taking the lowest ranking soldier and kind of using that soldier as the test dummy. It's a real horrible way. I don't know if anybody's ever really used it that way, but you go and you find the lowest ranking soldier, you take their weapon from them, that way they can't fight you, and then break the bad news to them that, hey, we need you to take your mask off, and we're going to find out if you survive. There's like this whole procedure. Like they take their mask off for like a X amount of time, and then they put it back on, and they monitor them, see how they're doing, and then take the mask off again or something like that. I mean, there's like this whole procedure to trying to figure it out that way. But modern day kind of thing, they usually just use equipment to kind of figure that out. So just a heads up, if you're in an NBC environment type of thing, and you're the lowest ranking soldier and they want to take your weapon from you, and you're all in MOP 4, potential that's what they're about to do to you. So outside of NBC, there's other training events you'll do with like the mask, sometimes just for physical fitness. I've known many times where sometimes we had like the last couple of miles of a road march, they would yell gas, 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 and we had to throw the mask on and everything and do the last few miles with the gas mask on, which can be challenging because, it is a little restrictive with breathing inside of this. And if you're already tired and you're doing something physical, it does definitely make it a little bit more difficult and much harder to do, that physical exercise, that physical activity that you're trying to do. It is a little bit of a challenge usually to understand people when they're wearing the gas mask. I don't know if they still use this, but I remember they did have, for some individuals, that have like this little voice box type of thing they would attach to the gas mask, and it would kind of have a microphone on the inside, and it would kind of allow you to be able to talk a little bit better and then project that speaker. Not everybody had that kind of a thing, and I'm not sure if they still even use that. It wasn't that great and wasn't that super reliable, but that is a way to get around like the muffled kind of sound of someone trying to talk to you while wearing a gas mask. You might also wonder, like, well, what if I'm stuck in this mask and I'm really thirsty? Well, they actually have ways for you to drink from it. This one has it, and the real one actually has it too, but like on this one, there's a hose that comes right off of here, off the bottom, and it attaches into the canteen. So on this one, it comes off and there's this little hose. Now, with this mask, it actually comes with a black canteen. This is very similar to the one you get issued in the Army. It's almost, I think it's bigger though, the one you issued in the Army, but the cap on the top is the same. It's like the kind of same system that the Army canteen was. I have one back there, but I'll show you with this one here. But the hose just connects here onto the top of the canteen firmly. Press it in there so that way it makes a good connection, a good seal in there. And then on the inside, there is a small hose. On this one, you can see it, maybe you probably can't see it, but there's a small hose inside of here, and on the one you issued in the Army, there's also a small hose on the inside too, so that way you can kind of suck it through a straw. It's basically like a straw that's attached to the top of the canteen. So you can still stay hydrated, you can still drink water, as long as you're doing a good job, and make sure your canteens are full, because I would imagine if you're already in a contaminated area and then you realize your canteen is empty, well, if you open this up and have to go fill it up, well, that's probably contaminated whole water. So make sure you have a full canteen, otherwise you're going to be really thirsty if you're stuck in MOP 4 with a mask on or whatever for a long time. So, I mean, that's a lot of the basics of what you'll do NBC-wise for the most part as far as training goes. You'll get issued one of these things, and not this one specifically, but like the Army version of it that's quite similar type of thing. And you'll do a lot of training with it, sometimes NBC related, sometimes just physical fitness related type of thing. But it is a pretty common thing that soldiers will have and do different tasks with and do some training with it. Like I said, if you're interested in one of these, maybe you're not in the military, you're out of the military, whatever, or you want to get one for a family member kind of a thing so they can experience what it's like to have a gas mask. There's a lot of different versions they have. Like this one can be used for utilizing like in an NBC environment. Maybe you're in an area and the police are using riot type of things. Maybe they're using, tear gas or whatever. I guess you'll be prepared. I've also seen that you can use it like maybe you're doing things around the house with a lot of chemicals, maybe drywall, things with particles, and you want to make sure you're breathing in good air, you're not breathing in any of those particles. You can do that. They have different filters for different types of things. They also have one for like smoke and carbon monoxide. So maybe you're a firefighter, you know somebody who is a firefighter or whatever, and you want to hook them up, right? Check out the link down in the description box down below, also in the pinned comment, and you can check out Mira Safety to check out all their equipment they have. They also have stuff for children. They also have protective garments and everything too, so they have more than just masks as well. My veterans out there, what is the worst thing you've had to do in a gas mask? During training, during physical fitness, whatever it was, I want to hear about it down in the comment section down below. For those of you that maybe have not experienced being in the Army and are maybe wanting to go or just, curious about the Army, are you worried about the gas chamber? Is that something that makes you nervous, or is it something you've kind of built up some confidence from seeing other videos and you're like, okay, it looks like it sucks, but I'll survive type of thing? I want to know your thoughts. What are your thoughts about, the gas chamber? Are you worried about it? Are you nervous? Comment down below. The worst thing I think I had to do with the gas mask on, it was Korea. There was a lot of times we would do stuff in Korea where we were doing a lot of physical fitness stuff with the gas mask on, and it was hot, sometimes, so hard to breathe, so you're just exhausted and tired, you're doing road marches, you're going up some hills, whatever. They love to make us throw on the gas mask while we're doing physical fitness, so that was probably the worst things I think I can remember that I had to do in the Army while wearing the gas mask. If you enjoyed this video, hit that thumbs up. I got a couple of videos that popped up, probably up on screen, to continue reviewing experience, to watch some more Christopher Chaos videos. Thanks for hanging out. I'm Christopher Chaos. I'll see you next time. See ya.